Hey there, this is the Girls on Candy. That's with a K, not a C, because we're not lame like that. But, this is a cool video. This is Issa, Mersha, and Alex. I'm so confused, I couldn't read. I can't read. Jump cut. 3, 4. You're trying to push me away. Why did you do that? Take 3, cut, and uncut.
Okay, so
Cut!
go.
Where we still cut. Ready?
Okay,
Ready?
action.
Uncut! Action!
Hey, Merce. No one's told our story yet, so here it is. After my parents divorced, my mom packed us up and we moved into what would become my childhood home on Candy Drive. That type of home where your youth is immortalized in the floorboards and in the windowsills, and every scraped knee and popsicle that filled the gaps in between is never spent alone, but with good company. That's where Mercy came in. We met rather ironically. She was my neighbor, lived across the street from me, and even had the same house as I did. I can remember that day like it just happened, sitting outside my garage when your mom came chasing after Sirius for running outside of the house into my yard. I remember telling her we had just moved into the pink house, and I remember when she first mentioned she had a daughter around my age. You know, I think about this moment a lot, especially now, about how if I could go back and say anything to my 8-year-old self sitting in the yard, it'd be to do exactly what I'd done from that day forward. Because unlike a lot of stories, this one doesn't have a happy ending, but it also doesn't have regrets or moments where I could have seized an opportunity to live. What I said about that house was true. Every part of myself was in each room. My laughs and tears came and went with the crabgrass we grew out front. It was invigorating, that pink house on Candy Drive, and so was she. She was brilliant, on track to find a cure for cancer or be the next Picasso. But she was weird, and so was I, which I suppose is why we were so inseparable. An odd pairing with an unbreakable bond, we grew up together. She was there for every dollhouse and soapbox race and trampoline double bounce. She was there for the sleepovers and the hot Texas summers, all symbolizing memories that I had no idea would never fade. They also said my childhood friends would last the longest, something about them being so formative when you're at your most malleable. And so we made big plans. We were supposed to share our first apartment when we finished college. She was supposed to be in my wedding, and we were supposed to give our future kids the same childhood we had. Life was supposed to just keep going because, after all, our story was extraordinarily average. The kind of neighborhood gang you saw in movies, lots of personality, but hard to differentiate from the kiddos who hung out on the next street over. So when things went bad, it was hard for everyone else to tell, because it's never an isolated event, it's always gradual shit that just gets, well, shittier. So shitty, in fact, it gets even the best of people. I swear I blinked and we were 17, in the bins getting into trouble or not at all. I'd eventually moved away from Candy Drive and away from those memories into a newer house that had led me to believe that I had just outgrown the pink house on Candy Drive and the people it gave me. We talked a lesson for a moment. I believed that I could actually survive growing up without the only sense of growth I had known. I had real world things to do, like SATs in college. I traded my handlebars for lame high school parties with fleeting friends who were conventionally normal and nothing like the kids I'd known on Candy Drive. Started experiencing first without her and dealing with life without her, not intentionally, but part of me believes the universe was preparing me for the unthinkable. After all, things can change, but they don't end, right? Fast forward, and the day is November 16th, 2016, or otherwise the end of my childhood, quite literally. Not because I was 19, turning 20, but because I didn't realize one person could embody an entire era of my life. How I found that out, you ask? Well, she was gone. When I got that call, I was brought back to 8-year-old Alexis, and the person that I thought I grew up with, I realized was just a butterfly. You see, the thing with butterflies is they can never stay in one place too long, and they say if you're lucky enough to have had one land on your finger, even for a little while, you've imprinted on that butterfly's journey no matter where it's headed. Mercy died that day. My butterfly's final destination was not this life, and so she flew. You know, sometimes I can't remember what it is I had for breakfast in the morning for the life of me, or what my first day of junior high was like, but if I revisit the floorboards and the windowsills of 3908 Candy Drive in my mind, I can always find her. I'd never felt a sense of comfort from death before, almost as if Mercy left me with the best gift of all. Memories that actually don't fade. Stories I can retell again and again until she's right there with me in the room, laughing at how she always knew I'd go on to retell great stories. So yeah, I guess I do owe a lot to that little rundown pink house on Candy Drive.
watching. Here at Cat